Yep.
What do you call yourself?
Well, I'm Hatchby.
All right, Hatchapi. And where do you live?
I'm from Switzerland, and just here for holiday now.
Okay. And what are you passionate about?
Hiking, or well, being outdoors, feel the freedom, breathe the fresh air, and just work out a bit in the same time,
Okay.
and travel.
Can you tell me like about your thoughts about the PCT, or maybe share a story about the Pacific Crest Trail? Just what
Well,
do you think about it?
a lot of people were asking me back home if I do the trail just because I want to find myself or figure out something, and I said no. And now after the trail, I definitely can say it changed me in a lot of ways, in good ways. And it's just the best thing I've ever done. I can just recommend it to everybody and hope that they're getting outdoors as well, hike the world,
Right
and
on.
feel it as well.
And can you just explain like what you guys are doing today, or what just happened like 2 minutes ago?
Well, so I'm back in the US to meet some friends I've met on the PCT, and our goal was for sure doing some trail magic and giving the trail something back, and the people who made it just as great as it is right now. And so we went out on Highway 4 close to Thru, and we couldn't get rid of all the stuff that we bought. So we came here to the beautiful Mallow Hostel and dropped off the rest that we got.
Cool. All right. What do you call yourself?
My trail name is Honey Stick.
All right, Honey Stick. Where were you living before you were on the Pacific Crest Trail?
Most recently in Vienna, Virginia, but I'm from Santa Cruz, California.
Okay. And what are you passionate about?
Mountains, trees, woodworking, pottery, cats, the beach, spaces. That's my deal.
What do you think about the Pacific Crest Trail?
It's pretty tight, pretty fun, pretty exhausting, pretty challenging. Good experience.
Could you share just one story from your adventure? I don't know, something really cool to happen, or crazy, or hard, or I don't know. Just like a story about
Yeah.
anything.
Oh God. Let me think.
Not if you hit a few bears.
Okay, one thing that was really crazy was heading into Tehachapi. We were like a day out of Tehachapi, and it was after the aqueduct. Like a lot of people had night hiked it, and then we're like hiking. We're sleeping under the bridge, but we had like camped kind of like we stopped at like 11 p.m. or whatever, and woke up like kind of normally, and then hiked past the bridge where everyone was sleeping like in the morning, and then got to this canyon, took like a big siesta, and slept for a while. And then started hiking again, and then it started hailing, and there was just like crazy, like big hail, really painful, like hitting my shoulders and stuff, and it was like kind of warm, so I didn't want to bother like stopping and putting my rain jacket on, so I was just like getting totally soaked, like everywhere. I was wearing my pants too, and my pants were getting soaked. And then we were like, we were kind of along a ridge, but like going into like canyons and stuff. And in the canyons, there are like these washes. And one of them, I was like hiking with this girl, Potato Rocket, and we see kind of coming down the hill in the valley, this just kind of like big, like just like rush wave of water. It's just like muddy and carrying plants in it. It's just like huge. And so we see the trail in front of us, and it's just dry. And then we see this wash of just like crazy wave of water coming down, and suddenly it's just like tons and tons of water.
Wow.
And so we were like just about to hit that like crossing or whatever, but like wasn't a crossing. and then suddenly was a crossing, and we're like, holy shit, what do we do? And luckily it was like small enough, like narrow enough at the trail that we just like hopped over it. And then that happened like 2 more times where we were just like approaching a valley and it's nothing, and then suddenly it's just like water coming down. And we're like, holy shit, like what are we doing? Like this is sketchy. Like this is before the Sierra. Like I feel like now at this point we've encountered some pretty scary shit, like crazy patches of snow. I fell in a few times and like my legs are just like kind of trashed. But at that point, like, you know, it'd all been like just like dry trail, like some snow and stuff, but nothing that scary. And we were just like, what are we doing out here? And luckily we got through it. And then that night, I hiked quite a bit after that. And that night it was like so windy. At one point I had this big rock on my tent stake, but the wind was so powerful that it knocked my stake out. And I couldn't find my stake, so I used my trowel as a stake. And then I was just like, whenever the wind, like the gusts came really in, I was like holding my trekking pole. I was like, because my pole was trekking pole support, I was like holding my trekking pole like, this can't fall over, this can't fall. Like, I don't have anything else to use as a stake if this one falls out. And it was crazy. Like I got really lucky, and my stake, the rest of my stakes held. And then in the morning I found the one that had come out, but I was just like, what am I doing out here? Like,
oh my god,
this is a crazy one. And this was just before Tehachapi.
Yeah, that's insane. Like total flash flood.
Calmed down and got into Tehachapi, and I was like, I'm in a town, everything's okay. And then we really haven't had any like bad weather or rain or anything since then.
That's insane.
Up until then, it was like wild, like lots of weird weather.
How did you end up on the Pacific Crest Trail? Like, did you have like a lot of backpacking experience, or just kind of like how did you end up here?
So in 2015, I did a big section. I did from the border to Mammoth.
Okay.
And I was 18 years old, and I was like, I just want to get out there. I met this girl who was like a year older than me, and she had just finished the entire trail, and so I was like, it was like, I known about the Pacific Crest Trail. I was like, that's something I want to do, but I was like, oh, that's something I should do when I'm like 30 or like retired or something. But then I met this girl who was, you know, like 19 and who just done the whole thing, and I was like, oh, that's amazing. Like, I guess I can do it now while I'm young. And so I just like was like, I don't have very much money. I don't have enough money or time to do the whole thing because I was about to start college. So I was just like, I'm just going to get out there and see how far I can go. So I made it 900 miles to Mammoth. And then I ran out of money and had to go home. So then I went to college, and the whole time I was in college, I was like planning to come back. Like I studied abroad over a summer so I could graduate early. And then now I'm back here, and
cool.
Now I'm finally like have gotten further than I did last time. So.
Right on. What do you call yourself?
My trail name is Sunkist.
All right, and where were you living before the Pacific Crest Trail?
I live in Bend, Oregon.
Okay, and Sunkist, what are you passionate about?
Everything. In fact, my first trail name was supposedly Ruby, because ruby signifies passion, like the fiery red sort of passion for nature, wildlife, humanity, all those good things.
Okay.
But yeah, definitely passionate about environment, nature, wildlife.
Okay. And what are your thoughts on the Pacific Crest Trail?
Well, right now I am knee deep in the 1,000 mile-ish mark, and so far it's been absolutely amazing. There's been so many different terrains that we've walked through. One thing that I do notice, and this is just linked to my passion for environment, is that we do a lot of work to the trail. If you noticed mile 990, there was a lot of like slog, mud. The trail just kind of expanded, and so as a person who loves to recreate and hike, I also don't want to leave a long-lasting mark in nature because I am a temporary visitor there. So I've, really mindful about how I put my feet down on the trail, and that my feet don't make a lasting impression on the trail, if that makes any sense.
No, absolutely. Is there a story you want to share, maybe, about the Pacific Crest Trail? I mean, it could be any aspect of it.
There's so many stories.
I don't know. It could be something that was crazy that happened, or something scary, or something really awesome, or really fun, or nice people you met. or
Well, I kind of
bad people you met? I don't know.
I've not met any bad people. Everybody I've met has been absolutely amazing, and I kind of thought that when I started this thing, I would just be a solo person, because that's kind of how I am. But the people have really helped make this an amazing experience, and it's interesting to see what kind of wild animal you are, and I've asked myself that: am I a cougar? Do I hide out and just be solo, or am I a deer? Do I migrate with other groups? That's a fun, interesting question to ask yourself when you're hiking this. But scary things, the trail offers, just around the corner, you never know what's going to be. So the other day at 9:30 at night, trying to get those 25 miles, stumbled upon a glissading opportunity, and did that with a headlamp right before Sonora Pass. That was pretty frightening, but it was cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
What brought you out here? Like, have you done a lot of hiking in the past, or how did you end up on the Pacific Crest Trail?
Well, I live in Bend, Oregon, and the Pacific Crest Trail kind of goes around Bend, Oregon, and so I've had a lot of opportunities to section hike within Oregon, but I've always really been interested in impossible things. It seems impossible to hike 2,650-ish miles. That just seems insane, so obviously I should do that, because why not? So, yeah.
Right on.
Yeah.